out, but it was like one of those moments where it was like, yes, that's it. And so then it just stuck from there. And then it actually helped me place the whole order of my songs too. And it just fit, and it was perfect, because Rick Ross kind of threw off the order, because I ordered I ordered them in certain ways and all that stuff. So like once I did Take Flight, I was like, damn, the piece of the puzzle. And my mixtape was done, and I remember turning, I was like, it's finished. And I was like, I felt so good. And yeah.
This is why, like, that whole, like, layout you just explained, that whole journey just for this one song is why I love Kendrick Lamar just calling himself an artist. Like, and even a scholar, because, like, that is some scholarly work. That's thinking, research. Yeah. That's, like, digging inside of yourself. What does James Baldwin say? Like, you're digging inside of yourself and revealing that to other people, and then taking it to another level. What I say is helping people to heal. Like, that's scholarly work, and that's tough work. So, like, thank you for sharing that aspect of the work in these songs. And just to wrap up, the last piece of work for Dr. Simone, I almost caught myself. If my mother were alive, like that, let me just say it's a dope piece of work. Thank you. But it hit me because my connection with my mother, and the reason why I can't have a connection with her, she has mental illness and isn't compliant with her medication, so she don't take her meds, y'all. So for me, I can't have the connection I want with her. Like even getting my PhD, right? Sharing that with her, like I really can't share that with her in the way that I want to, or connect with her in the way that I want to. And yeah, I can call her and be like, "Hey, I'm done," but just getting the response I want from a mother. So I just was wondering if you shared what, inspired that poem.
A lot.
Yeah.
So that piece was supposed to go in like Kansas, but took it out just because not a lot of room. And then, of course, to stay consistent with the theme. But it is in my manuscript, my book manuscript, Uses of My Body. And so the poem tries to capture my mother's decision to undergo gastric bypass surgery. She had a tummy tuck back in 2003. So she makes a decision to have the bypass surgery, but she dies as a result of that surgery. She experienced complications for months. I literally watched her, didn't watch it, but her left breast was amputated due to some allergic reaction to medicine. So I'm watching her body fall apart, and then her eventually dying. And so the question in the poem is, if she really believed that she had to, in some ways, change herself according to, some beauty standards. But the poem also is getting at this, like, damn, because my mom did all these things, I don't have a relationship with her. And so it's imagining, what would be the things that me and my mom would talk about, if she were here, and reflecting on the things that I did know about her, how funny she was in her relationship with men, watching her in these relationships. And, as a young girl, I'm like, oh my God, my mom is crazy, but she a bad bitch. She passed away when I was 15. And so I don't have any, the rest of my teens, none of my 20s, the rest of my life, without her. And so I don't have, I can't go and talk to her about, relationships, about school, about, even that question of why she chose to have that surgery. And so that poem is just really trying to imagine, having her here, even if, she was still thinking that she had to go through that process to be beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. That's
yeah.
That's touching.
Thank you.
And as you were talking, it's just like opened up maybe even like more of why that connected with me, because it's like, what if my mom chose to take her meds to be in the reality that I'm in, so that we could talk, and have the same
those sort of decisions that they make.
And it's like, what chooses what fuels that decision that she's making to not do that, or because I truly believe that there's a piece of her within this mental illness that she truly has, and I know that, you know what I mean? And so it's like, what is driving you to just be in this? Like,
and I think that's all I was trying to get at with the poems about my mother in that book, is like they're people. And so I think that when we put titles on them, that we assume that they have to always act according to I'm a mom. I have to, do these things. But what is beneath her not, taking her meds? What is beneath my mother making this choice to, put her life at risk when she has children? What are the things she's thinking about? So, yeah. So those hard questions. They're hard.
Yeah. But I appreciate both of you all for just being so candid in your answers, because that's really what we want to do here at Black Jewel, is just highlight things that, one, because both of y'all doing dope work, right? And y'all healing a lot of harm that's done in many intersections of Blackness. So I think it's dope to highlight that portion, but also highlight, like, what it took for you all to get to this point, because it's not like an overnight thing. It ain't just started from the bottom, now we here. Right. Like, it's some gradual levels to this shit. So what would be some advice that you all would have for Black professionals? And when I say Black professional, I mean in any sense, like any Black person just trying to get it in whatever way. Like, what advice would you have for them to just stay encouraged on this journey, no matter what level of their journey they're at? Like, what advice would you have for them?
I think my advice to everybody, and even, when it comes to developing yourself as a researcher, a student, a scholar, a professional, is to remain open. A lot of the opportunities that I've come across or have been given to me was because I was open, failed a couple times here and there, but because, I got back up and was able to still reach out to people who loved me, still, molded and created a circle of people who cared about me to help me remain open. I'm continuing to grow.
Ooh, that's still hard, I think. But I think I would say one piece of advice for a professional. Are you talking about someone seeking artistry as well?
Mm-hmm. That's why I say profession in whatever, vision.
Organized. Like, that's so simple, but it's like it like
life. Okay.
Missed opportunities because
and it's like start with the smallest things because they really add up. And one thing my mom said the other day, and I was like, dang, I hear this all the time. We fail to look at a lot of the good shit we've already done because we don't think it's such a big scale thing, because we think it's so small scale, because we wrote this Go Down 2 years ago and we thought it should have happened 2 years ago, but it didn't. So it finally happened, and now we like, oh, whatever. But it's like, no, 2 years ago you would have been happy as hell if this happened.
Like, honor yourself.
Yeah. And so appreciate that. And then one thing I'm learning from you too is be humble, but also own it. Like, own it. Like, people love you, like, own it. And let that let you feel good. And it will fuel you. Yeah.
I love that.
Dope ass advice. Everybody listen to that. Listen to those words of wisdom. It's really, really great words of wisdom. So I also want to highlight things that you guys have coming up. I think that's important because you both are super dope and have many things coming up and just a beautiful future ahead of you all. Like, I just see nothing but blessings. So if you would like to share with the people the things that you want to share that you have coming up, go right ahead. This will, you could say it. This is gonna be like, this is, we just all raw. Like,
when it drops.
Depending on when this drops is when
what announcements I need to make.
So this is we could decide that. So, like, the podcast drops February 21st, and we're gonna slow leak it. So it's gonna be an intro and one select, and then we're gonna, like, pick it. So if you have a certain time frame that you would like this episode drop, we can definitely talk about that now, and we could just
I just wanted to make sure I don't get them events to happen that'll be past. Yeah. Okay. That's the only thing. Yeah, I just don't want to be like, come here.
Yeah, most likely it'd be like March. Okay.
Cool.
This one.
Oh. Ooh. That's ahead. I know for sure. Be on the lookout for my Feeling Lucky music video.
Yeah.
Okay. Got some music videos, some visuals coming.
Yes.
Okay.
And I have a reading and a talk in Topeka on March 8th. It's race and gender and all that good stuff. So I'll read a little bit and talk a little bit about my work.
Awesome. All right, so March 8th, we have to keep that in mind, me and my producer, we can drop this before March 8th so the people can know to get there. Because that's necessary, and I think we want to pack Topeka out. And where will you be in Topeka? Did you say that?
So we still deciding on the location, but I'll publish any information on my social media and websites.
Okay. Yep. Awesome. And what are your social media and website? Because I forget to go to that. So any social media that you want the people to connect with you all on?
Yeah, go ahead.
Go ahead. Oh, Perfect Verse 22. If you just type in Simone Savannah, you should be able to find me. But it's Perfect Verse 22 on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter.
And I am at Cuee Music. That is CUEE Music on everything. And you can find me at officialcuee.com. Yeah, that's what it is.
All right, dope. Well, I just want to thank you all so much for being guests on the first season of Black Jewel.
Yes,
I'm so grateful for you all and trusting me with this journey of an interview. So, thank you guys.
Of course.
Thank you.
It's a wrap.